you doing, everybody? This is Sleep, member of Memes and Dreams and Quantum of RoboCraft, talking to you. I hadn't really been here the last couple of weeks. I apologize. I've been sick. That's why I've got this nice cup of tea here. But we've got some patch notes to go over, and boy, is this a bad patch. And I am really excited to tell you why it sucks. So let's get into it. So, whenever we first look at it here, oh, sorry for the cough. We see the giant robot claw that again was teased on Twitter like what, almost 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and it's a weapon upgrade mechanic. I don't know how many levels we get. I know that whenever you upgrade it, you get supposedly higher MMR, and the damage goes up. Cool. Not really. Was not needed. It's an artificial change to give us a slight damage boost again, and it's very, very dumb in my opinion. I would never have done something like this. But it is what it is. And I did the numbers on the pre-patch notes that came out a few days ago on the T0 SMG that they showed. And they said, here it is at level 0, here it is at level 5. And I looked at it, and I said, hey, that comes out to be about a 4% damage boost from level 0 to level 5. And so if we get a standard number, say 10 or 20 levels, you're looking at an 8% to 16% damage boost on weapons, unless the number's changed, which is insane on certain guns, which we'll get into on the patch down further. Leaderboards are back. There are clan leaderboards. That's neat. I don't know why these were ever removed whenever they were there in alpha, but they're back now. FreeJam is adding old features. Color me surprised. Woo! Now, we got display name changes. You can do these now just through the website. You don't have to file a ticket anymore. That's a very, very welcome change. I remember I went back and forth with FreeJam for like 2 weeks trying to get my name changed. It was awful. What else? AI support for Nano. Good luck. Chain gun. Still did not get buffed. We'll get into that when we get down there. It still sucks. And rotors. Well, you nerfed rotors. So AI was going to be okay. Now it's not. Changes, nothing super important aside from these bottom couple here, which is balance changes on community feedback. We're going to get down into that. We can see it already peeking down at the bottom. And we have the agility changes for all parts now. Aside from insect legs, I think insect legs have not been touched. So good on you insect leg players. You still die all the time, but good for you. Sorry about that. And we have some bug fixes. I'm sure. I'm sure you fixed these bugs, FreeJam. I'm positive. Whenever I play a game of RoboCraft and I don't have 3 bugs, I will be very, very pleased. Now, is the matchmaking still here? Is the matchmaking bug been fixed? No? No? Is that even a known issue? No? No? Are you sure? Real? Okay. Okay. Now we get to the actual balance changes. SMG got nerfed. This is the 3rd or 4th patch in a row where SMG's been nerfed. The only SMG that was overperforming was Tier 5 SMG, or Mega SMG. That's the only SMG that was overperforming. Every other SMG was fine. But Mark has a vendetta against SMGs. I don't get it, man. Another thing that's not listed in any of these changes. Like any of them. Masses changed. The mass of weapons changed. I will put up images of a T4 laser before and after the patch. And that's a very, very big mass change, dude. I'll put up even the image of Taylor telling us, no, masses didn't change. Because, Taylor, I know you care. It looks like you were misled like all of us were by FreeJam about this stuff. Rail got a huge overhaul. I say overhaul. They're, again, I guess they listen only to certain things I say. We're getting a damage buff, an energy usage nerf. We're getting a rate of fire slowdown, a projectile speed increase, and we're making it less inaccurate when moving. We're slowly going back to how Rail was before they introduced the stupid RoboPass update the first time. I don't get it, man. How hard is it for you to just pull up the old number of a rail, of the boost era rail, put a 35 to 40% damage boost on it, keep the same energy consumption, rate of fire, health, slap it right back in the new files. Just override it. I would be 112% fine with that. So would the rest of my clan. So would YJ. He might even come back to playing. I'm sure other people would be happy with it too. The other thing, again, you have to look at these nerfs and buffs to numbers. Keep in mind, you can now increase damage. So Rail gets a damage buff, and you can increase Rail's damage on its own. So depending on if it's percent or flat, I don't know, it didn't tell us in the weapon upgrade. Again, I'm going only off the patch notes here. I have not played the patch yet. Going strictly off patch notes that are here. I'll have these linked, of course, in the description along with every song I use. And Rail might be undisputedly like top tier, even more so than it is now. Rail is already like the best gun in the game, and now we're going to be able to make it hit harder. And if it's percent based on those level ups, oh my god, Rail's going to be so good. It's going to be miles better than every other gun in the game, dude. Miles better. Plasma, of course, got this nerf. I don't know why. I thought Plasma felt fine. I really did. I didn't think Plasma needed a change, but FreeJam saw it differently because the community saw it differently. What do I know? Nano's got a buff. Sorry, Nano's got a buff to energy consumption. This is dumb. We're going back to boost era Nanos. This is dumb. Stop it. I actually saw Nanos being used unironically after the last patch, and now they're going to become very good again if you keep buffing them. Stop, FreeJam. Buff the healing per shot, not the energy. Make it unsustainable burst. Don't make it sustainable high heals. This is why people got upset with the nano circles. Arrow Flak got a buff. 15% sounds good. I'll have to see how it feels. It's probably still not enough. Seeker's got a tweak. Again, you got a damage nerf. Sure. I guess people are still dying to Lommel. It's easy to break Lommel, dude. Come on. Projectile range. Again, we had this huge projectile range nerf, and now we're slowly increasing it. And sooner rather than later, PSK is going to have, rail range. God forbid. Ion got a buff. Sure. I didn't use Ion. I thought Ion was fine. It's a much better chain gun, because chain gun still has not been buffed. Still, after all the cries for a chain gun buff, we still have no buff for chain gun. Oh my god, FreeJam. Mortar got another range buff. I don't know who's complaining that Mortar doesn't have enough range now. I mean, I said it kind of jokingly in the last patch note video, but this is ridiculous. Then we have movement balance feedback. Okay, so wheels and the rest of the movement parts aside from insect legs did get hit by this. Or maybe even insect legs got hit. I don't know. We got some balance changes. I didn't see them listed on the agility changes. Maybe they were. Oh, they were. My bad. I'm in that right here. I thought I read that right. So we look at it. And what do we see? Wheels get more health. They're still going to get shot off too fast. Right? It's not noticeable enough health. Tank tracks. That's a very noticeable buff because tank tracks were already ridiculous. Mechs. This is a very interesting change. I quite like this change. But at the same time, I don't know why we nerfed mech speed. I think you should have just left mech speed alone and just buff sprinters more. Because 155 is what mechs go at now, I believe. It's 155. And sprinters go at 170. So now we're making mechs go, what? 140 something? I'm sure it's like 146 or 7 or whatever. And we're having sprinters go, what? 187? Maybe? I don't like it. I would rather sprinters got a 20% buff so that they actually feel like they're running and can keep up with a car rather than just nerfing mech legs themselves. They, of course, did get a health buff, so T0 legs are still undisputedly the best legs in the game. Fight me. mass increase. That still doesn't really bother me. But, you know, it'll bother some people. It's fine. Sprinters did need this agility change because sprinters, you could not actually build a sprinter without it feeling way too slow. Insect legs got a health buff. It's not nearly big enough for this buff to mean anything, dude. They need a much bigger buff. Skis. Who uses skis, unironically? If you do, tell me in the comments. Rotors, big change. Big change. The rotor's mass got changed massively. It went from being, I think it was like tier 5, or the highest tier rotor, I don't know if that's tier 5 or tier 4. Went from being 50 to being 300 kilograms. That's a very big change considering how agility works now. And of course, we've decreased the agility because copter drones were very, very good. And drones themselves, because of the unexpected mass changes to weapons, of all things to kill drones, weapons getting heavier did it. Okay. I still don't understand that at all, but whatever, FreeJam, it's your game. Aerofoils got a health buff and a speed buff. I assume this also means rudders, which would just piss people off if it was also included drones. But drones aren't that good anymore, from what I've heard from the clan, so who knows. Thrusters got a buff. No one uses thrusters as their only movement type. It's always a secondary movement type, so this makes no sense. The speed boost is very noticeable, or I would imagine it would be. If you, on a drone or on a plane where you have, 20-ish thrusters going in a single direction, that speed boost is probably noticeable. Propellers, speed boost buff. Cool, this will actually help out some sprinters and some mechs. And, yeah, here's the ratio that got changed. Again, this will all be linked in the description down below. I'm going to give you some thoughts of what I think should have happened here. Insect legs, if you want them to be usable, need a bigger health buff, dude. They also need to be able to cling upside down again. If we're reverting all the way back to, like, alpha, come on, bring it back. Wheels, they need another health buff. Mechs did not need this movement speed nerf. Sprinters needed a bigger movement speed buff and a bigger health buff. Because the discrepancy between mech leg health and sprinter health is insane. It's huge. Huge. Believe me, huge. Chain gun needed a massive buff 2 patches ago and has yet to receive any changes. It's at high level play. You are never going to see a chain gun. Never. It's just not worth it. Other things, I would not have nerfed SMG. I would have adjusted tier 5 SMG. Sure. I would not have adjusted all SMGs. Plasma. I may have looked at how Mega Plasma was doing, but not all Plasma. I haven't died to Plasma in a long time. Rail. Just do what I already said. Bring back the damage boost era. Rail. Nano. This should not have happened. Aeroflak. This needs to be a bigger number. Anything else I have a major issue with. Aside from agility sucking and unannounced mass changes to guns, no, everything's in order. I just think that it sucks, and this is a really bad patch. We were kind of like going okay with balance changes there, FreeJam, and then you throw in this stupid patch here, which accomplishes nothing. And in fact, I don't even know if it's listed here, but your maximum number of loadouts, yeah, right here. Your loadouts, instead of being 5, are now 3. So, that sucks for a very few people who used all 5. I know the Clan Omega Warriors, some of their members are very upset about this. I feel your pain. Again, these announcements came out of nowhere. We only found out about this, yesterday? So, it's nuts. FreeJam, you gotta communicate better. You gotta give us this stuff like a week or 2 in advance, because doing these sudden game changes very, very quickly. We've now outdated bots from the boost era and the RoboPass era. So in the span of 3 months, We have outdated everyone's bots twice. Twice. And you expect people to stick around whenever bots they put hours and hours into making are invalidated twice within a quarter of a year. Really? You think that's going to increase your player base? You think that's going to increase retention? No. No, it's not. Again, if you're in the RoboCraft Discord, you've heard me say this. I'm going to say it publicly here on this YouTube channel now. Sile and I have said this for a long time. Sile, of course, a very prominent member of Quantum. If you just gave us, Quantum, a fully customizable test server where we could adjust every single value in the game with sliders or direct input, we could balance the game for you within a week. If it was 10 Quantum members and that client where we could change everything, the game would be perfectly balanced within a week. I'm not exaggerating. I've put more effort into RoboCraft than I have in some of my collegiate studies. Why? Because I care about this damn game, despite the fact that FreeJam doesn't. And despite the fact FreeJam doesn't understand how it plays and how it functions. I want to fix it. I've tried to give them suggestions on how to fix it, and they refuse. And that's why the ending song, of course, which you'll hear coming up very shortly, I chose it for a very specific reason. But that's all I've got for you on the patch notes. I might have a gameplay video coming out over the weekend. Stay tuned for that. If you enjoyed my commentary and overview, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new around here. Click that bell icon so you don't miss a thing. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye.